There's this universal moment that I think almost everyone hits at some point.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
usually sometime,
Yeah.
maybe after your mid-20s, and you just sort of look around at your life.
At the habits, the people, the conversations you're having over and over.
Exactly. And there's this sudden clarity, and it's almost uncomfortable, where you just think, I've outgrown this,
Yeah.
all of it.
Mm-hmm. And it's more than just, needing a change of scenery. It's this deep internal feeling that the operating system you were running on a year ago just isn't compatible anymore.
Right. It's incompatible with the person you're becoming. But that leads to the real friction point, the challenge we're diving into today.
Which is, how do you actually navigate that evolution gracefully?
Because our default, if we're being honest, is usually confrontation, isn't it? We feel like we have to justify it.
Yeah, you feel like you need a big fight or some dramatic exit to make it real. You have to burn the ships.
But the sources we looked at for this deep dive, they offer a totally different path, a much wiser one, I think.
They do. They really stress that true evolution doesn't need chaos. It doesn't need a villain. You don't have to apologize for leveling up your life.
You just quietly rise.
You just evolve. It's all about becoming more aligned with your own truth.
So our mission today is really to pull out the wisdom on how to outgrow that old life without the guilt, without the drama.
And, crucially, without leaving this trail of wreckage behind you.
It's that I'm leveling up, not lashing out kind of vibe.
Mhm.
This is about, intentional transformation.
Okay, so let's start with the absolute foundation, the core mindset shift. Because if you don't get this part right, none of the other steps will work.
And what is that?
The idea that outgrowing things is natural, and because it's natural, it's not personal.
I think that's where so many people get stuck right away. They worry that their growth looks like arrogance.
Totally. They think, if I stop going out, my friends will think I'm saying I'm better than them now.
So how do you get past that? How do you shed that idea that your growth is some kind of judgment on other people?
You have to understand, really internalize, that growth does not mean you are better. It just means you are becoming more you.
More you. I like that.
You're just aligning your outside world with what's going on inside. The second you make it about superiority, you've already lost the plot.
Okay, but let's talk about that perception trap, because even if you know it's not personal, why do the people around you, friends, even family, often take it so personally?
Well, because they see you moving forward and they don't see it as your personal choice. They see it as an unspoken comment on them staying put.
A criticism of their life.
Exactly. They see your new standards, your new focus, and they internalize that as, oh, so my life, which was our old life, wasn't good enough for you.
It's like holding up a psychological mirror to them.
That's a perfect way to put it. And your growth is a reflection of your new standards, your new values. It has nothing to do with judging them. You've just changed the price of admission for your own peace.
Right. It's an inside job. So if it's all internal, then the big takeaway for anyone listening has to be, what? Permission to stop explaining yourself.
100%. You do not owe people an explanation for becoming the best version of yourself, especially if they're only asking so they can feel more comfortable.
And the only person you owe in this whole thing is...
It's you. You owe yourself the commitment to actually see it through, no matter whose comfort zone you have to step out of.
Okay, so once you have that mindset locked in, growth is natural, it's internal, then you have to actually do it. You have to separate. And this is where I think the panic sets in for a lot of us.
This is where we need to talk about letting go gently, the art of the soft transition.
And what's so interesting is how the sources just completely reject the need for drama.
Yeah, we're so conditioned to think every ending needs a big, loud climax. A finale.
A speech?
A speech, right. I'm cutting people off, but you don't need any of that.
So why do we default to that explosion? Is it just easier to get it over with?
I think so, yeah. A big confrontation feels clean, it's a quick break, but it costs you so much emotional energy and it creates all this bitterness.
Whereas soft transitions...
They take more patience, but they protect your peace. There are these subtle little shifts in your behavior that just prioritize your new alignment.
So what does that actually look like? If someone is trying to do this right now, what does a gentle detachment involve?
It looks like intentionally creating space. It might mean you respond a bit slower to texts.
Okay.
And not because you're being passive-aggressive. It's because there is a genuine misalignment. The energy isn't a match anymore. If someone calls you to gossip, your desire to engage
No.
it naturally goes down.
But the distance isn't a weapon. It's just a consequence.
Exactly. It means choosing peace over chaos, spending more time by yourself. And maybe the most powerful shift is just allowing relationships to change.
Instead of trying to force them back into the old box just because it's familiar.
You just let it shift. It takes all the pressure off.
And this leads to maybe my favorite metaphor from the sources, the quiet door metaphor.
It's so simple, but so profound. You don't have to slam the door. Just closing it quietly is enough.
Slamming it is an act of anger, right? It's making a statement.
Yes, it's performative. It forces this big ending and leaves all this emotional junk behind.
So what does closing it quietly feel like in the real world?
It feels like declining an invitation with grace. Just, I can't tonight, I'm working on a project. I really need a quiet night in. You don't have to defend that choice.
You don't owe them a business plan for your project.
Not at all. It means you let conversations that used to be full of noise just have silence in them now. You just respectfully step back. You're honoring the history of the relationship without sacrificing your future.
That's a really powerful way to think about it. Okay, so that handles the external moves. Let's shift to the internal engine driving all of this. Because growth can sometimes feel a bit self-righteous, which brings us to a key point. Upgrade your identity, not your ego.
This is the self-check, right? This is where you have to ask yourself, am I doing this to become more aligned with myself, or am I doing this to feel superior to everyone I left behind?
And I'm guessing the difference is whether or not you need an audience for it.
That's it, exactly. If you feel this burning need to post about your 5 a.m. workout or your new income bracket for your old friends to see, that's probably ego.
You're looking for validation.
You want to prove you're better now, but if you're just quietly and consistently living your new life for you, that's alignment.
And what's really interesting here is that the core change isn't even the external stuff, it's the internal shift. The way you see yourself, the dreams you have, that must be tough to sustain.
It takes so much clarity and intention. A new identity doesn't need noise. It needs consistency. If you keep looking over your shoulder to see how your old life is reacting, you're going to trip.
You have to protect it.
Like a fragile seed, yeah. You have to protect it from all that external judgment, at least at first.
So the focus has to be purely forward. It's about who you're becoming, not who you're leaving behind.
Yes. And that simple mental switch changes the entire energy of the process. You go from resistance and fighting the past to creation and building the future.
You're building something new, not just tearing something old down.
And that feeling,
Yeah.
that is alignment.
Okay, this is the part everyone always wants.
Yeah.
The practical, actionable steps. We've got 5 key ways to outgrow your life without burning the bridges. Let's make this super concrete.
Let's do it. These are the strategies you can literally start using today.
Number 1 is move with kindness. Even when you're moving away from people, you don't have to hurt them. Why is kindness so important here?
Because kindness is a form of self-control. It means you're operating from a place of peace, not just reacting. You're protecting your own energy.
So if someone gets upset that you're distant,
A kind response like, I'm just really focused on myself right now, but I wish you all the best, is so much more powerful and respectful than some long, dramatic text trying to justify yourself.
that makes sense. Okay, number 2, stop oversharing. Protect your new plans.
This is so critical, especially in the early stages. People cannot sabotage what they do not know.
Wow.
If you're starting a business or a new health journey, don't go looking for validation from the very people whose mindset you're trying to move beyond. Their skepticism is about their limits, not yours.
And hearing that over and over can just wear you down.
It chips away at your resolve. Keep your wins private until your momentum is unstoppable.
Love that. Okay, number 3, set soft boundaries. We need to define this because I think people hear soft and they think weak or vague.
A soft boundary is just a respectful one. A hard boundary is I'm blocking you and we're never speaking again. A soft boundary is I love you, but I can't participate in gossip about that person anymore. It just doesn't feel good to me.
So it's defining the new rules of engagement. Give us a real-world example, say, with an old friend who just thrives on drama.
Okay, so that friend sends you a huge drama-filled text about their night out. Instead of diving in, you wait. Maybe the next morning you just reply, hey, that sounds intense. Hope you can find a way to sort it out peacefully.
So you acknowledge them, but you don't get into the mud.
Exactly. You refuse to engage in the emotional labor or the gossip. You are defining the interaction by your new standards.
That's brilliant. Number 4 speaks to that identity shift we talked about.
Yeah.
Be consistent with the new you.
This one's non-negotiable. No backtracking into old habits just to make other people comfortable for a weekend.
That's so tempting, though, isn't it? When you go home for the holidays or something.
It's the biggest trap because when you walk back your progress for their comfort, you're trading your evolution for their momentary ease. And that, down the line, leads to so much resentment.
And finally, number 5, allow relationships to evolve, not just end.
Right. Not everyone needs to be cut out of your life entirely. Some people just move to a different role. They go from being a confidant to an acquaintance.
From the front row to the balcony.
Exactly. You can let them recede naturally. You're just changing the terms of the relationship. You're not necessarily dissolving it.
This all connects back to that idea of quiet evolution.
Yeah.
This soft glow up, which is just such a powerful concept.
It is, because there's this incredible strength in silence and intention. The transformations that happen privately without a big announcement, those are always the strongest.
Why do you think that is?
Because they were built on your own internal conviction, not on getting likes or praise from other people. When you can rise up without bitterness, without needing validation, you're showing a level of self-mastery that's louder than any dramatic exit.
And the sources pointed out this unexpected benefit, that it can actually inspire people.
Yeah, even the people you grew apart from. When you do it gracefully, you become this living proof that change doesn't have to be this ugly, destructive thing.
And the source actually defines this as a flex.
It is a flex, yeah. Graceful evolution is a flex. Healing without making someone else the villain is a flex. And outgrowing your whole life without burning a single bridge, that might be the biggest flex of all.
It completely reframes power, moving it away from destruction and towards self-control.
And that really brings it all home. Your new life doesn't require a new enemy. It just requires a new, aligned version of you.
If you find yourself needing to tear others down to feel good about your own progress,
You're not there yet. You're still operating from insecurity, not from true growth. True growth creates, it doesn't destroy.
So wrapping this all up, what does this mean for you, for the person listening who is in the middle of one of these shifts right now? This deep dive is really about giving you permission.
You are allowed to grow in silence. You're allowed to choose distance, not out of malice, but for alignment. You are allowed to outgrow people and places without creating chaos.
And you are allowed to choose peace at the same time you're choosing yourself.
They aren't mutually exclusive.
In the end, outgrowing your old life isn't a betrayal. It's not an insult to your past.
It's transformation. It's alignment. And it's really the highest, quietest form of self-respect. You are just stepping into a life that finally matches who you actually are.
You don't have to apologize for your truth or manufacture drama to justify it.
Just become it.
And maybe a final thought for you to take with you as you start this process. You can do all of this softly, with grace, with love, with intention, because your evolution doesn't need fireworks. It just needs your quiet, consistent truth.